Hello humanity, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. You look swell. Anyway, back to me. So, lots happened today on, I believe it's Friday, some day in October, possibly the 10th, maybe? I don't know. But yes, welcome to the second episode of Masturbat Ion. So, what are we going to discuss today? Any bets? Oh, I'm sure you can think of one. But how about this one? So, today, believe it or not, Mr. Barack Obama actually won the Nobel Peace Prize. He's the third American to win it in the past 7 years, I believe. So, not good for him. I believe the last one was Jimmy Carter, which, nice for him and all. But, I really hate it when political leaders get Nobel Peace Prizes, because it's like justifying all the terrible things that they did. And granted, Jimmy Carter and Barack Obama, both of them are leftists or Democrats, and, I myself identify myself politically as a leftist, but I view myself as actually more left than them. But still, at the same time, is it an oxymoron to give a peace prize to a man who's currently engaged in two warfare conflicts? I don't know, I think it is, but that's just me, and as we all know, I'm a little bit weird. So anyway, back to me. I just thought it was very weird, because I don't understand it, how can you give a peace prize to a man who creates war? It just seems like a terrible thing. And even still, you give it to a political leader, which just seems to justify all the terrible things that they do. Like if there's, the death penalty in their country, or perhaps, if there's not greed, but just flat out corruption and all this wrongdoing, or all the things that we view as wrong as human beings. I just don't understand it and how we allow these things to happen. And that's why I'm against, giving or supporting any kind of political leader, because it really almost justifies the things that they've done, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I probably am, but that is the truth. I mean, how can you give a peace prize to a man who runs a country that incriminates people for smoking plants and kills them because they killed someone? I mean, I know of no rationale by doing the same thing that a person did, you are better than them and you are making the world a better place. So I always grapple and have a tough time handling the mentality of these issues and this rationale of, well, you do this, I'm going to do it to you. It doesn't, there's that phrase, or an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. But, yeah, I mean, I don't get how much simpler it can be than that. And I hope someday it is simpler than that, because really, it seems as though humanity has a hard time remembering or figuring out that there are other humans in the world. And I really wish we could, discover this concept that there's someone next to you and they also have their own thoughts that can be literally 180 degrees different than your own. And I don't know, really what else to say. It's just, it's so scary to me when I see people so oblivious to other beliefs and ideologies and just concepts. And that's one of the reasons why I do these, webisodes or videos, whatever you'd like to call them. But I hope it does make the world just a tad bit better. Maybe it does, maybe it won't. Maybe it makes it worse by showing them, see, this is what we need to protect humanity against people like this, you think. But whatever. Thinking for me is always an attempt. It's never a success or failure. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know. What else has been going on? I thought it was very interesting though how Mr. Obama won the Peace Prize, but he also went to Oslo, I believe it is, to promote Chicago for the 2006 Olympics. And he lost, they lost. It was him, Mayor Daley, I think, Oprah Winfrey, some people, more people, and other people. And, of course, I believe the Brazilian president, not Brazilian president of Brazil, of course, which has Rio de Janeiro, was there as well. But, I thought it was a little bit interesting, and especially since, I've heard a lot of these fulepes, I believe they're called. Basically, they're kind of shanty towns nearby Rio de Janeiro, and basically they're the equivalent of shanty towns or Reaganvilles from the 1980s or 1930s. I mean, or Hoovervilles as well. So it's always interesting to me, and the thing that most interests me about these things is there's no law there at all, except for the crime ring or local drug lords law. And I'm always really interested in when there is absolutely no sort of state-backed protection, because, granted, on the south side of Chicago, you can get shot or stabbed in the middle of the night, but at least in a couple hours there'll be a cop who will drive by and see, like, what's this blood, what's this body on the ground. But when you're in these zones like Afghanistan or certain parts of Iraq or even Brazil, where there's just this place where it's like, if you cut down a tree and no one else is there to see it and you deny it, did it ever really happen? I mean, that is perhaps my greatest fear is, to have absolutely no record of you. But at times, perhaps you should also think of that as your most likely ability to be a tremendous hero, to say you have no problem with being forgotten and having there be no record for you, but yet you stood up for what you believe is justice and what is fair and what makes humanity close to perfection. And this is what I would like to leave you with. So, yeah, just remember, you're lucky if you can listen to someone, but you're even luckier if they'll listen